Welcome to Larp Academia, and today we're going to talk about what you get as a level 3 Druid. Now, if you're not going to be dumb and roll all your points down, you'll actually get new abilities. The first ability or purchase option that you can get is Attune. Now, Attune answers the question, man, have you ever wanted to give a person more than one enchant? Is bark skin not enough? Is poison not enough? Is some of the other enchantments that you're going to get later on not enough? Well, the good news is that Attune is here for you. That's right, Attune makes it so that a person is able to bear one more enchantment than normal. A normal person is able to have 2 enchantments instead of 1. So this means that you can actually stack enchantments. You can start to make a person a bit more powerful, which is really good considering later on. And there is another enchantment that does it a little bit better, but I prefer Attune, and I'll go into the reason why when we get to level 5. So look forward to that. But Attune, it's blue because it's pretty great. It does what it needs to do. It gives you the ability to stack more enchantments, and they don't have to be from you. That's right, you could just attune someone, hey, and then they are able to receive 2 enchantments from other people. They may say, hey, you're only a level 3 Druid. I don't want anything from you, which, I mean, they're kind of stupid because there's one enchantment you should definitely have that's amazing, but they might not want your enchantments. They might say, well, I want this healer's enchantment and this wizard's enchantment, which first, the fact that the wizard took an enchantment is impressive in and of itself. So, out of shock value, you let this go and you give them Attune. Now, the good news is that Attune also does not take up an enchantment slot, otherwise that would kind of defeat the purpose. But it can also allow you to enchant someone with a spell, and then someone else can enchant them with another enchantment, so you can combine spells from 2 different people instead of just giving a person 1 enchantment. Attune's pretty good. Now on to a not so great enchantment compared to Attune. It is bear strength. Have you ever wanted to have the strength of a bear? Have you ever wanted to be a grizzly, gruff man? Well, bear strength will make you feel that way, because bear strength gives you the ability to have melee weapons be shield crushing. That's it. I mean, did you expect more? Because there's no more to it. It's just that your melee weapons are shield crushing. And while there are fireball, sphere, destruction arrow, and padded heavy pole arms, that's really it. So you would think that, bear strength would be a little bit more useful. Well, the problem is that warriors exist. They have hardened shields. Barbarians will always have their shields broken. It's just the natural state of the game. And really, there's not that many other targets for your shield crushing to affect in melee. And even if you would do that, there are better enchantments for you. So if you want shield crushing, taking up an enchantment slot is a lot to ask for someone. And that's why bear strength, it has its place. If you have scouts going out there with shields, if you have a lot of barbarians and you look at your team and you realize there's no archers, because almost no one plays an archer, and that you don't have any heavy padded poles, well, you might want to take bear strength. It's not terrible. It's not I could take it, but why? There's a situation for it, which is why it's orange, even though it's not overly impressive. Your next available purchase is not an enchantment. Surprise, surprise. It is a verbal. It is Dispel magic. Now, you may have liked the idea of, I can stack enchantments on a person. Ooh, that's great. That scout has 3 enchantments. Yeah. Well, Dispel magic strips all enchantments from a target, which is awesome when you are the one stripping the other person. You know what I mean. So, you cast Dispel magic and you take away all the enchantments on a person. Why is this only green? It's pretty good. Well, here's the thing. You can experience it. You can make it so that it is charged times 10 for an extra 2 points at first level, and you can constantly use it, which is pretty good. It's a little bit better than scouts, but scouts are EX, so they're able to use it with weapons in hand. Okay, but you still have more uses of it, right? Well, wizards get it charged times 3, so there are classes that have better dispels than just normal dispel magic, and you will get a much better version of this later on. You get an enchantment at 6th level that really makes me kind of question anyone who takes dispel magic as a druid a little bit. It still has its place. It's still, even at 6th level, you can take it. And if you don't take that enchantment, that's really good. It's fine because you might be enchanting yourself, but Dispel magic has its place, but it's not an overly, you have to get it, or it's amazing because there's better for you and people have it better, but it's still really strong and really good. So Dispel magic, it's kind of in the middle. Now, your meta magic for level 3 is extension. Extension makes it so that your verbals are able to go longer than just, you know, the normal range, which is great. I mean, when you think of really good verbals to extend, you have Call Lightning, you could kill someone. You have Icy Blast, you could freeze someone you really don't like. You have Heat Weapon. Heat Weapon's probably not a good idea to do unless you're trying to Heat Weapon on an archer. There's also Dispel magic that we just talked about. So you could really strip that person of all their enchantments. And, you know, that's great, but we have a problem here. There's no more verbals for you to choose. Now, I know I mentioned some verbals like Call Lightning, which we'll learn about later on, but my point is that you only have 4 offensive verbals. And while extension is pretty powerful, druids, unfortunately, can't utilize it very well. I mean, healers might actually value extension more than druids, which is a little odd, but extension does have its place. I mean, Call Lightning, Icy Blast, Dispel magic, those are pretty powerful. So it does have a place. It's understandable to take, but at the same point, you don't need to take it. It's even a little bit less than the, this is pretty good, you should probably take it, maybe not. It's more of a, I built this into my list so that I can utilize this ability. Then, okay, it has its place, but it's just not that great for Druid. Were you getting tired of having non-enchants? Well, good news, we're fixing that. We're going straight back into the enchantments with Gift of Fire. And appropriately, Gift of Fire is red. Now, if you remember, red does not mean good. Red means pretty bad. So you're wondering, wait, why is Gift of Fire pretty bad overall? Well, let me put it this way. Gift of Fire gives a person immunity to flame, pretty cool, and heat weapon once per refresh charge times 3. So they can heat a person's weapon, charge it up, heat a person's weapon, charge it up, and they're basically kind of like a mini druid. Pretty nice, but they're immune to flame. The problem is that druids give enchantments that make a person immune to flame. And those other enchantments are much better because they have better secondary effects than just, hey, you're immune to flame. And the other problem arises, heat weapon. Okay, Scout, do you know the incant to heat weapon? No? Okay, so let me teach it to you. Now, this is already a problem. If you're having to teach someone an ability to make them be able to use it, they're probably not going to use it. And if you give it to another casting class, well, 1, they probably already have heat weapon, or 2, they might not really need it, or 3, they'll probably want a different enchant anyways. So, Gift of Fire, while it does give a cool immunity to flame, it doesn't pack the punch that's needed in order to make it really a good ability for people to use. Now, for those of you who have had people come up to you and be like, oh, you're a druid, yeah? Yeah, you have men, right? Yeah. All right, well, I need you to repair 4 points on my chest. And you go, what? This spell is for you. Greater Mend is able to completely restore all points on a section of a person. Now, this means that if that person's up to you, I'm 4 down on my chest, you can Greater Mend that chest. And then it's all back up. You don't have to mend, charge, mend, charge, mend, charge, or have purchased 4 mends and blow it all in this one person. Now, to be fair, this is only one section. Someone can't come up to you and say, hey, I'm down 3 on my chest, 2 on my left leg, 2 on my right arm, and 1 on my left arm. I need you to fix it all. And you can say, cool, Greater Mend. That only repairs a section. It's not that great. And you don't want to use Greater Mend on repairing broken stuff. It's not great. It has a little bit of its place, but the reason why it's red instead of orange is because, once again, at 6th level, you'll get an ability that makes Greater Mend kind of worthless. And people want to take that ability just to say its name, or just to say it's incant. So Greater Mend is not really seen, and it kind of has a place, but you sort of have to theory craft when to do it, but it's more practical than needing a theory craft in order to be useful. So it's a mix of things. It's a mixed bag, and it's just not the best ability. It doesn't solve all your problems that you're wanting, but it solves some of the problems if you've built your list around it. Now, Wizzo, you talked about this Icy Blast. What does that do? Well, I kind of already explained that it freezes a person, but it freezes anyone. That's why Icy Blast is purple. It is a verbal that can freeze anyone. Why can it freeze anyone? Well, anyone except monks, because it is sorcery. If they do not have protection from magic, enlightened soul, or void touch, they're not immune to this. Those are the only 3 ways that someone can naturally not be affected by Icy Blast, or some weird things like bards in their songs, but we'll get to them later. So Icy Blast is really good. It means so that, oh, I want to keep you out of the battle, then I'll do that. I don't want your fight after death, I'll make sure it's not there. I want to stop you from casting, well, that's my best way of doing it. And then you can deal with them later when you release or have a scout release, and then you just gang up and just murder them. So it's pretty nice and easy to do since it can affect anyone. This spell is also able to be comboed with wizards. Now, wizards have the ability to shatter people if they're frozen. So when you freeze them per life, you can actually combo it with a wizard, and it has so many uses for just freezing a person, and it's just so powerful that it's wonderful. It is an amazing spell that should be taken by almost every druid, almost, because things will happen later on why you might not want to take it. Now back to the enchants. I know it was surprising we had non-enchant abilities. What is this? We're druids. We have to have enchants. So we need to get back to an ability called Regeneration. Now Regeneration makes it so that a person has unlimited swift heal. That means that, oh, I'm legs. With the white light of healing, I've healed thee. With the white light of healing, I've healed thee. With the white light of healing, I've healed thee. That's all you need to say. Just with the white light of healing, I've healed thee. You don't need to say that full paragraph incant. You don't need to burn one of your per life heals that you probably want to save for yourself or someone else. No, you just put it on them, slap it on them, and be like, hey, go out there, don't come back, you should be fine. And it's pretty wonderful in that sense. There is some downsides to it, though, which is why it's not blue or purple. The first downside is that it allows you to swift heal. Now, if someone has wounds kill, like poison, which you found out about in level 2, well, then they're dead, and regeneration's kind of wasted. Regeneration also cannot regenerate back points of armor, so if someone's hit in the chest, they're also dead. Regeneration, not the best for that. Regeneration is, however, absolutely wonderful if you can put it on a monster. Now, not all monsters are enchantable, but monsters have a thing called natural armor. Natural armor is not repaired by mend, like most armor points are. It can only be repaired by a heal. Seeing where I'm getting with this. So you put regeneration on a monster who has 3 points of sectional armor, they get hit 2 times with the white light of healing, with the white light of healing, I've healed thee, with the white light of healing, I've healed thee. They're back. They repaired 2 points of armor. That is ridiculous. So if you can cast regeneration on a monster that has armor, you should definitely do so. The other reason why regeneration is a little bit lower is because you can't just say, with the white light of healing, I've healed thee. You need to be 10 feet or more away from an enemy. So if someone legs you, can't say, with the white light of healing, I've healed thee, and then go back and it's like, no, you have to probably kill them, crawl away, or make sure no one's there, and then say, with the white light of healing, I've healed thee. So that's not the best overall. There's some negatives, some positives. It's generally a pretty good enchant. It's just there are a little bit better. Now, speaking of better, let's get into your last enchantment / purchase that you can make for 3rd level, and that is Stoneskin. Oh my god. Stoneskin is amazing. Now, while you may be wondering, well, it's just 2 points of armor. Yeah, Barkskin gives 1 point, whatever. The reason why no one takes Barkskin and everyone takes Stoneskin is because Stoneskin gives ancestral armor. Now, ancestral armor is, well, it's pretty much the best armor you can get. You know how there's a concept of armor breaking where it's 3 or less points or just snap broken by armor? That would mean that if I had 2 points of magical armor, like from Gift of Earth, and someone hits me with armor breaking, oh, all my armor on my left arm's gone because I had 2 points. Well, Stoneskin, point. Armor destruction, point. It's a point that you can mend back, which is great. And that's not all that ancestral armor does. Ancestral armor also gives you the ability to block spell balls. So, if I'm wearing Gift of Earth and I'm hit with an ice ball, I'm frozen. But if I'm hit with an ice ball while I have Stoneskin, point, and I keep going. Stoneskin is amazing. Once you understand this basic principle of how powerful ancestral armor is, Stoneskin is a must buy. If you buy anything from 3rd level, always buy 2 Stoneskins. Even if Stoneskins are double in cost, which we'll get into later for an option that you can do at 6th level, then you still want probably 2 Stoneskins. Why? Because Stoneskins are just so good. They're amazing. You should always take Stoneskin, and if you don't, then I really question why. I mean, it has to be a very specific build to not take Stoneskin. But Stoneskin is just like the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes of Druids, where you go to a Druid and you ask for Stoneskin and they've either assigned it already or yes, they have it. There's never a, I didn't take it. I have heard that once or twice, and even then, the Druid's reasons are flimsy at best. They're more of a, oh, I'm a verbal Druid, and at that point, I mean, you have what, 4 verbals? I mean, you're trying to sustain yourself, and no, you should take Stoneskin. Stoneskin is amazing. Its simplicity is great. It can be used on anyone, and there's no downsides. It's wonderful, because that's the problem with many of these enchantments. Either the main ability while you take it is not that good, or there's some massive downside. With Stoneskin, there's none. It's just great. Take Stoneskin. It's awesome. Now, I hope that you're a little bit more informed about what you get at level 3 as a Druid and what your purchasing options are, that you understand a little bit more of which spells are, I maybe shouldn't take that, and some spells of, yes, why am I not taking this? I'm a Druid, of course I'm going to take this. So, I hope that I clear that up and give you some good reasons why you would want to take spells and why not to take spells. But always remember that you are able to make a list based on anything you want. If you want to make it based around Gift of Fire, I mean, you can work with your field to make that work. So definitely have fun with your spells, experiment. You might find that an orange or a red spell is actually pretty good for you in your park. But I hope that you have a great time as Druid and that you are enjoying your 3rd level abilities. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell in order to stay informed about what you'll get as the next level for Druid. Until next time, keep LARPing, and please take Stoneskin.